Okay, so another injury for me, more downtime. Beginning of this year, probably around March, I got my septoplasty surgery. I had a deviated septum for quite a few years, and finally decided to get that done shortly after Nationals in December, and competing, and then trying to rebound a little bit, and then it was a good time to get that done. Was having trouble breathing, wearing the stupid ass nose strips. But that got fixed, and that was about probably 3 weeks of downtime. And it really reset me for like getting into trying to build size again. And I ended up starting that around 270, and took the entire summer and got up to near 300. And as I was eating, the calories it took to get up to near 300, I started seeing an umbilical hernia. So, okay, that was a little alarming. Week after week after week, I saw the belly button popping out. Okay, so that's not good. Now, what do you do? Kind of didn't want to face facts that needed done because my progress was so good. So I rolled with it. Just kept bulking, kept putting on size, and about end of June, I started dieting and, went away to California late July. End of July, probably the best look of my life. I was low 280s and just looking great for me. It was a great blend of the bulk stayed, and I started seeing like probably that 8-week outlook. It was just a great look for me. But I did a lot to get there. I, obviously took a lot and put a lot of strain on my body to get up to 300, and then kind of kept taking a lot to get down to the 280, low 280 mark and achieve that look. And after I came back, it was kind of just like, all right, I'm kind of burnt out, but I'm going to try to keep carrying on. And probably 2 weeks ago, I was doing a chest supported row, and I really was pushing into that pad and trying to get the elbows back and trying to keep the form really strict and perform the best row I could. And I really hit that hernia. And I was like, ow, this is not good. This is now popping out to where it's affecting my mobility. It's affecting my ability to train. It's affecting my ability to twist. And it's just not good. It was popping out when I was trying to do ab exercises. And so I'm thinking like, all right, it was probably going to be an issue on stage next time if I was going to try to get really lean and actually show a stage look, stage condition. Not good. It was going to be an eyesore for the judges, no matter what added size that I brought, like competing at low 250s at nationals. Even if I competed in the mid 260s and brought the best look ever for me, that hernia was just going to be like, okay, that's all they're looking at. So it was kind of like a perfect storm of, all right, I'm burnt out, it hurts, time for a break anyway, get it done. So I got it done last Wednesday, October 7th, it's done. And then immediately, what do you do now? All right, so first thing that goes in are peptides. Appalachia Research Direct is the company. 3 key peptides. DPC 157. That is a 3 times daily dose for me. It is 250 micrograms 3 times a day, morning, mid-afternoon, and before bed. TB 500, half a bottle, 2.5 mgs, twice a week. That's all going in. They're going to work systemically, but that's all going in lower abdomen for me. Those are the top tier inflammation peptides and healing peptides, and that's going to promote healing around the area and get that working again for me. And then the third peptide is going to be retatrutide, because there's no reason to feel sorry for yourself in this phase one of this kind of hernia recovery for me. You should always be a couple steps ahead of the 8 ball here of what your plans are and how to come out of this the best way that you can possibly come out of this. So how do you come out of this? So I was doing 6 meals a day before this happened, and immediately I cut a meal out. So 5 meals a day, and I cut a shit ton of carbs out. So I was probably doing 6 meals a day, over 100 carbs a meal, plus intra carbs. My carbs were probably 700 to 800. Immediately now with the 5 meals, probably a couple of them are, 50, 60 grams a meal, and then at least one of them is going to be no carb. So I would say the carbs have gone down from 700, 800 a day to probably 200, 250. That's a big swing. The reason why I did that is, number one, activity right now is not high, so they're not needed. You do not need high carbs in a phase of low activity. And so the other reason I did that is if I can get leaner through this phase, and even if I lose 20 pounds, I'm already down over 10, which a lot of that is inflammation, just from training 5 days a week and training hard and eating tons of carbs and still doing growth hormone and still coming off a blast there. You're going to hold just inflammation weight and water in the muscles and stuff. And the fact that I haven't trained in now 5 days and taking the inflammation, decreasing peptides, and taking the retatrutide, and not eating as many carbs and cutting out a little bit of growth, that weight's going to come down anyway. So I don't really care about the weight on the scale. What I care about is coming into the next phase when I can train as lean as possible and with blood sugar levels as low as possible. And that's why I threw in the retatrutide. I was a big eater before this phase. Big eater in the off season, no matter what, no matter how many carbs I was throwing in, big eater. I was always looking for the next meal. I'm a guy that watches the clock. Boom, whatever you need me to eat, I eat. So I'm a big eater, and if I can shut off food noise through this phase and just focus on recovery, focus on rest, focus on getting steps, that's another thing. Cutting out a meal a day is more time for me to ice, red light therapy, to walk, to get the recovery needs that I need to heal this hernia and get primed for growing again after it. And to get the blood sugar levels down was another reason why I threw in the retatrutide, because that's working in 3 phases of the GLP to keep the blood sugar levels low. That's the name of the game in bodybuilding. The more you can keep blood sugar levels low, fasted, between meals, and get them going to where you can add food to this phase whenever I'm ready to train again, even lightly. I can add food through the activity that I've maintained, and through the retatrutide. I don't know how long I'm going to take it, probably probably up until I can actually train hard again, then I'll cut it out. But I pride myself, and that's the big thing. That's why the post-show rebound, that's why they always say that's the best time to grow. You're coming off of the leanest state you've ever been in. So your blood sugars you're super insulin sensitive. So the more you can carry that, stay insulin sensitive, the longer you can take a growth phase. So that's what I mean about being a couple steps ahead, is I'm thinking of the next phase here to where I'm going in to when I can train again with the lowest blood sugar levels that I can possibly go into. And that's, that's, everybody talks about secrets. Do the pros have secrets? And, you're either a genetic freak to where you can stay insulin sensitive with no matter how much you can eat, or you're constantly up on pricking your fingers and taking your levels and making sure you're not going into your next meal with 130, 150, blood sugar levels. You want them before meals at 80, 90. You want them fasted at 70, 80. So you can always be fat burning. They say recomping, that's a big thing. So it's no reason to feel sorry for yourself when you get injured like this. This is the fourth time that I've had to take extended periods of time off, and I'll admit the first two were not great because they were, I tore my bicep in 2018 and got a second surgery on it 2019. I was a lot younger at the time and didn't kind of have this knowledge of, coming through these phases and trying to work through them smart. But that's a big thing with maturing in the game, is like, you gotta, if you're gonna do this for a while, you're gonna run through these phases where you're gonna have muscle tears, or you're gonna have gyno surgery, or you're gonna have a hernia surgery. It's what you can do during the recovery to make that next phase, getting the size back as quickly as possible, and then come back even better than you were before.